Hey everybody, welcome back to Toy Collecting Then and Now, plus comics and more. Today we're actually going to be unpackaging 5 packages, plus I'm going to show you some old stuff and some new stuff. Stuff from then, stuff from now, and then in the packages, it's also stuff from then and stuff from now. So it's like new stuff, old stuff, great stuff, not so great stuff. Now they're all great stuff. But yeah, let's start with these things, just so we can get these out of the way. Actually, I showed these a long time ago in a previous video. That didn't get much traction. It's not like these videos now are getting very much traction, but still, we're going to show you again because actually I think I recently just sold these and I'm going to be shipping them away, so we'll never be able to see them again. So these are just some cool, like old school, like I think these are from 79 or 82 or something like that. But these are basically like, those little wooden horses you could buy where you push the button and they go all slack with little rubber bands inside that you don't see. Well, these are the same thing. So it's like basically you're having space battles. And then you hit the button and it's like, we're blowing up, fall to pieces. And then the trick is, so you push the button again and they're supposed to kind of go back to normal. Sometimes it doesn't work right, but sometimes it does. See? Push the button, they kind of go slack. So let the button go again, and there they are back to normal. So that was pretty cool. And this one even had like a little pilot inside. I don't know if we can see it. We kind of see it. Yeah, see there's a little pilot inside, little TIE Fighter pilot. And the little TIE Fighter. So that was pretty cool idea for back then. Also, the only other one of those that I had is actually a Snowspeeder version. So like you're on Hoth and you're about to get blown to hell and the AT-AT's coming down on you, blah, and here you go. And then you push the little button and blah, you get blown to hell. And these ones don't exactly pop back in together as easily as they're supposed to, so you kind of have to like help guide it one way or the other. But yeah, same thing. You just kind of help set it back in, and it's back to normal. Let's see if we can make it do it by itself. Pop back to normal. Yep. Nope. Yeah, you gotta line it up. I think it's this gun. This gun gets caught and doesn't quite want to go back to normal. That's the whole thing. But it's kind of cool, old thing. I think this one's dated. Where's the date? Where's the date? Oh, there's a date. There's a date on here. It's, upside down. 1982 is when this one came out. And it's all nice and complete. And all with the glory. And even has a little landing gear for whatever reason. Not that it's exactly necessary. I guess for display purposes, you put the landing gear on. But yeah, it was a pretty cool idea for them back way when. Cool little vehicle to have. And yeah, Snowspeeder, all of its glory. And one other thing I want to show you too that I just put up for sale. I want to show you my Dave Prowse autographed Darth Vader from Power of the Force. Got this signed many years ago at a Comic-Con. And unfortunately this man has recently passed away last year, I believe he passed away. But yeah, he was basically the guy inside the suit of the Darth Vader costume. You didn't ever hear his voice because it was James Earl Jones. But this guy that was in a suit, and he signed this Vader for me. So that was pretty cool. Alright, so let's get to the mail call. I'm pretty excited to see some of these comic books. Some of them are very old. Some of them are very new. But I'm very excited to get these because I don't have them, and it goes along in with my collection of what I'm collecting right now as far as comic book goes. Which is mainly all I'm really collecting for comic books right now is Black Spider-Man, Venom, Green Lantern, as you've seen before. Oh, Black Hat. Can't forget Black Hat. And a little bit of Lady Death mixed in, but I'm going to kind of not do so much of that and hopefully sell kind of some of the ones that I have. The sucky thing, though, is eBay, I guess, starting next year, and a lot of those online seller places are going to start taxing everybody after $600. So basically, anything you have for sale and you want to sell it online, sell it now, because after this year, we're going to get taxed to hell on anything online sales. And I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I mean, is it going to jack the price up of everything? Is everybody going to just raise the price on all their things to try to make up for that taxed part of the sale? I'm thinking that's maybe what's going to happen, but it's really going to be a pain in the ass at the end of the year for tax season, because I know I'm not going to want to have to fill out an extra whole thing for that. I know I'm guaranteed going to, like, once I start cashing in some stock stuff, I'm going to have to be filling out some extra stuff for my taxes, and I'm not excited to do that. So, yeah, I definitely wouldn't be excited to have to fill out extra tax forms for selling stuff on eBay. Oh, yeah, okay, so this is cool. So this is an old Green Lantern, Green Arrow comic book. This is issue number 116, and as you can see, this one is in great shape. 40 cents on the cover. But the significance of this comic in particular is this is the very first time that Guy Gardner becomes a Green Lantern or puts on a Green Lantern ring and uses, the Green Lantern powers. This isn't the first appearance of Guy Gardner, but this is the first time he uses ring. And if you don't know who Guy Gardner is he's one of the main 4 original Earth Green Lanterns. So there's Hal Jordan's the main original one, the regular Green Lantern original one, just all green outfit. And then there was Jonathan Stewart. He came out in 1971. And then Guy Gardner some odd years later. And then the more recent edition in the 90s was Kyle Rayner. And I definitely already have first appearance of Kyle Rayner. I don't have the first appearance of Hal Jordan because that's like $1,000-something right now. And the first appearance of Guy Gardner, like the first actual appearance, is worth a couple $100, but I don't have that yet. I'm waiting to see if I can find it for super cheap. But I do have the first appearance of Jonathan Stewart on the way in the mail, and I did find it for like a steal because it's a super beat up copy. But like I said, with these Green Lantern and the old issues, I'm not trying to get like the most pristine condition. I just want one of each. So I found a really cheap first appearance of John Stewart. So I'm excited to see that, and I'll show you guys that later when it shows up. All right, let's go on to the next one. What's the next one? What's in package number 2? What's in package number 2? Let's see here. It's all nice and packaged up. That one was actually kind of a weird box. It was kind of a little bigger than it needed to be, bigger than necessary. But whatever, at least it came here safely and it's in great condition still. Okay, what's this one? What is this one? What is this one? Oh, no. Oh. Okay, it landed just the right way. Now this is just another random one I picked up. This is another Green Lantern Green Arrow issue. This is issue number 90. I'm not quite sure the significance of this. I just know that maybe they had stopped printing these comics for a little bit because it says, "At last, the return of the greatest comic of them all." So maybe it kind of went away for a minute. I'm not 100% sure. But I got it for cheap, so I was just like, yeah, whatever. And it was cheaper than I'd seen because for some reason this comic book is worth a little bit more than some of the other ones from around this time. And Mike Grell's the artist, which is awesome because I actually have an original Mike Grell drawing that I'll have to show you at some other point because I have like a whole book of original comic book art. It's like a sketchbook that I take with me to Comic-Con. I get original comic book art. Eventually I'm going to get around to showing you that, but I just haven't yet. Alright, let's go on to this one. This one's another single pack. I'm going to kind of save the multi-packs for last if I can. Well, I think this is a single pack. I'm not quite sure what this one is. I'm kind of expecting a few here and there, but like I said, I like comic book collecting because it's a lot cheaper than Star Wars collecting. And I don't know if it's inherently like inherited because I've heard rumors that my great-grandpa Marshall, which is my mother's grandfather, always had a stack of comic books by his bed. And he died before I was born. But I wonder maybe like somehow I got the spirit of him, or maybe it's like in his DNA to like the comic books. So maybe I inherited that from him. Also, I was a cigarette smoker for years, which luckily I was able to quit. But he was a cigarette smoker too, so maybe that was another part of his legacy that I inherited. Alrighty, let's see what book this is. Oh, yeah, this is Red Lantern number 28. I thought it was silly. Actually, I made this purchase because I didn't think I had this one because it's actually the same issue number as it's Green Lantern number 28. And on the flip side, it's like a flip book. So on the flip side, you flip it upside down and turn it around, and it's actually Green Lantern issue number 28 as well from the New 52 of DC when they were doing the New 52. I'll show you what I mean though. So essentially, I thought I didn't have this issue. I thought I did not have this issue, and this was basically the first appearance of Supergirl as a Red Lantern. So it's like worth a little bit more for whatever reason, and which is silly because I've had the complete run of the Red Lantern series, and for some reason I thought the only one of this series I was missing was number 28 for the Green Lantern, but it's actually the same book, so it's on the other side. So now I have 2 copies of this, which is kind of silly, but maybe I'll just keep it and I'll slip it in with, because I put my other issue with my Green Lantern one, so maybe I'll just put this one back with the Red Lantern run, just so I have a complete run of both, and I have, the book for each series. I know it's silly, but whatever. All right. So let's see which one first. Which one first? This one feels heavier, so I'm thinking this has multiples. This one's a little lighter. Let's dig into this and see what is in this package. Let's get into here. Yep, I was right. This is only should be a single book. I'm not sure which book this is, but we're about to find out. It's packed really well, so it might be a nice issue of something. It might be. Oh, actually, I think I do know what this one is. This is actually a semi-significant book. I think it's very old, if it's the one I'm thinking of. But we're about to get into it. Let's see. It's just more cardboard. Alright, where is it? It's got to be in this part. Yep, this is the portion. It's got to be in this little cardboard area. Let's see. Let's get it open. Like those old Mervyn commercials from Black Friday. Open. Oh, come on. Of course, they tape these things really well. Which is good because, these things need to be protected. Oh, yeah, okay, so sweet. This is actually Green Lantern number 15 from the 60s. That's pretty sweet. I think this is maybe the third appearance of Sinestro on the cover, or second appearance on the cover. No, maybe not. Maybe it's the third appearance on the cover. Yeah, I believe so, because I have the other one sitting right here. So, yeah, third appearance on the cover, maybe fourth appearance of the comic books. But, yeah, I definitely didn't have this one, and I found it for real cheap, and I'm just, trying to put together some of the lower numbers of this original 1960s run before the Green Lantern show comes out onto HBO, because then the prices of these things are going to go up, and then I wouldn't want to buy them because then it'd be too expensive. But yeah, here it is. And here's Thal Sinestro. He's basically the Green Lantern's main enemy, and he's trying to go into another dimension where it's a yellow world to escape the Green Lantern. And hopefully, if he could get a Green Lantern to follow him into the yellow world, then it would make the Green Lantern less powerful because he has a weakness to yellow. Which they eventually explain, and I will get into that once I start digging into telling you guys storylines on comic books, because eventually I'm going to steer my channel into talking a little bit more as far as storylines of comic books to kind of get into that. I've talked about that before, so let's not go down that road again right yet. These ones I'm really excited to get because, I've been listening to this guy on YouTube, and he basically goes through all these old storylines for comic books. And this is one of the storylines that he covered. And I thought it was just a great storyline. And I didn't have any of these books. And I missed out when these things were coming out. And I found the set of this, just the kind of run of this storyline for a really decent price. And I got this actually from, looks like Villain Gaming. And they sent me a cool sticker. There's a Villain Gaming sticker. It's kind of like a Mortal Kombat ninja chick, which is kind of funny. Because now it's kind of more suiting to everybody walking around wearing a mask. So maybe it's just a pandemic chick. But she's supposed to be a villain with a mask on. Kind of looks like Silk, which is like an alternate universe Spider-Man. Alright, so let's get into which books these are. And these books are all wrapped up. Come on. I like how everybody does this masking tape thing now, because it's definitely a lot easier to just peel off the masking tape. And of course, put one side as a fold, and then you're able to easily get it to feed off. A couple of these issues I had, but I think I had like maybe the variant editions of them, so it's kind of cool to get the regular editions. I think there's maybe one double in here that I do have, but I essentially bought this auction because it didn't show like all the books. It just showed one book on the very on the cover photo for the auction, and that's the one I really wanted for a significant reason, because it's the free comic book day Spider-Man #1, and it has Venom and the Black Cat on it. And of course, as you all know, I collect everything with the Black Cat on the cover, and it wasn't too bad of a price. So I basically bid on it, and then I was looking into it, and there was like multiple issues came with the same auction. So what other ones came with it? Is actually Donny Cates' Venom run, the new Venom series, and this is number 26, but this is the third printing. But the cool thing is when they're putting out different printings of these books now, is that each different printing, like so second printing and third print, they'll have different covers. So you're not just getting like a second or third printing with the same stupid cover, so they're not like crazy worthless. Because a lot of times when you get the second printing of books like way back when, they're just worthless now because it's the same cover, but it's just a second print, and they just did like change one color on something to make it, so it doesn't look like the original. But now they're not exactly worthless anymore because it's a whole new picture. And this one's awesome because it's Eddie Brock with his son Dylan Brock, which is kind of a newer character in the Venom story. And what's awesome too about the new Venom story is like Venom hasn't really been cool since the Lethal Protector back in the 90s. I mean, they did a whole bunch of Venom stories after that, like Venom the Madness and stuff like that, and it just, nobody drew Venom well. The stories were garbage. It just looked, it was just bad all around. But now they're finally drawing him good again, and the stories have been amazing. And Venom's back, and I'm super excited because that was always my favorite villain, or basically one of my favorite characters in the 90s. Because I love the Black Spider-Man, I love the symbiote, I love the costume, and I'm still mad that they didn't put the big white spider in the Venom movies. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, so here's issue number 27. And this is actually follows the story of Venom Beyond. And it's basically Venom kind of goes to an alternate universe planet. He's like kind of maybe dimension jumping or something like that. And this is a different universe where basically the symbiotes had taken over Earth. And the cool thing about these, they're all symbiotes onto everyday superheroes that you know. And what's the cool thing, as you can see here, they all have the big white spider. I love the big white spider. And there it is. It's just all over. Captain America's shield has the white spider. Captain America's symbol is the white spider. Iron Man, his symbol is the white spider. You see in the background, who is that in the background? Thor. Thor has a big white spider on his chest up here. And I mean, it's just amazing. Everybody has the white spider. Even Black Widow. You see Black Widow? She's right here. She has the white spider. She has the white spider. I love the white spider. All right, now that was the second printing actually, and it was the cover was a variant for the second printing. That was an awesome cover. I loved that cover for that second print. And this is number 28, and this is the first printing. So pretty cool. And this is basically, Venom teaming up with some of the super baddies as they're trying to go and fight the what's this guy? I forget his name right now. Of course, as I'm trying to do the video. I'll have to get back with you on that one because he was actually a pretty cool character. He's actually an alternate universe of Dylan's son Dylan, or Eddie Brock's son Dylan Brock, and he basically is basically taken over by Null, basically the big bad guy in the King of Black Venom story, and basically he gets the original codex of Null, and he essentially takes over the world. So he's basically the big bad guy in the world and takes over the world. And he kind of looks like Null. He's got the long hair, he's got the big red spider, and pretty badass. But I'll go into talking about that story later. And then here's another one. This is issue number 29. And there's a better picture of him. So that's basically Dylan holding himself. So it's him growing up in evil. And here's him as a child and not quite evil yet. And then, of course, there's Venom. He's like stomping on Venom there on the bottom. But yeah, so that's basically him holding himself hostage, which is pretty funny. And then this is where they wrap it all up. Oh yeah, his name's Codex. Maybe it's Codex or something like that. I don't know. I think it's Codex. But yeah, and then there's the last issue number 30, and I think I do have this issue. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Like one way or the other, I'll sell it before eBay starts trying to tax us over $600 or whatever it is. I'm just disgusts me that they're doing that with the whole internet. I guess Etsy's doing it. Everybody's doing it. So you basically can't get away with selling stuff online without getting taxed. I mean, why do they have to tax us so much? It's just insane. I mean, you think about it, the Tea Party, way back when, Boston Tea Party, 1700s, that whole thing was over a 3% tax. And here they are now, just taxing the hell out of us for everything. Oh, but not the rich. If you're rich, you don't get taxed on anything. You get to skate away without having to pay taxes. But us poor little fellows, we're getting taxed on every little penny, every little inch that we try to make, which is ridiculous. We really have to change the system because the whole thing's jacked up. But that's another story for another video. But thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like my content, and I'll talk to you guys soon.